on Sukkot, basically, a lot of the dinim. I'm not going to cover everything in one class. Okay? So we're just doing more of an introduction within regards to the festival in of itself, within regards to things that are important that we should be aware of for the festival. So I'll just start off. This is using from a Sephardic lens. So Erev Sukkot, we're going to talk about. I'm giving some tidbits. It's worthy to give tzedakah to the poor on Erev Sukkot so that they will have food for the Chag. That's something that we know for the festival. The Machazik Bracha actually brings this down. And then another tidbit is it's praiseworthy custom to go to the mikveh on Erev Sukkot, ritual bath. However, one may not recite a bracha on such an immersion. So this is not binding by a blessing. Since it's a mitzvah to eat a kazayit of bread on the first night of Sukkot, one should not eat any bread on Erev Sukkot, beginning from the 10th hour, so that one will be hungry when eating inside the sukkah. One may eat other types of food such as fish, meat and fruit, but should not fill up with all these foods. So you should have an appetite to eat inside the sukkah. And it's actually interesting. One should try not to sleep before Sukkot so that he will sleep well that night inside the sukkah, because sukkah brings the refuah in of itself. The source for that one is Yalkut Yosef, I think, page 125. Okay. Tefillat Arvit, which is tonight. I'm not going to cover all of this now. We're just doing it. Throughout the Chag, the Mizmor of the Chag is customarily recited before Arvit. The Mariv prayers on Sukkot, chapter 42 of Tehillim, is recited. B'mei Madlikin is not recited on Yom Tov. Like, respectively, we say on Shabbat, it's not. However, what if Sukkot is on Shabbat? So when Sukkot is on Shabbat, the Chadzan does not mention Sukkot in the brachot of the Shemona Esrei that are recited during Arvit. That's very interesting. Okay, so when Chol HaMoed is on Shabbat, this is naturally going to be this week, one does not mention the Chag during the brachot after the Haftarah. Okay, now Kiddush on the first night of Sukkot, which is going to be tonight. On the first night of Sukkot, one should preferably not recite Kiddush before Tzet Kochavim. Similar to the required kazayit bread eaten in Sukkot on the first night of Sukkot, which should be eaten after Tzet Kochavim. That's first thing. One who ate a kazayit bread during Ben Hashmashot on the first night of Sukkot should eat another kazayit after Tzet Kochavim without reciting another blessing. Next tidbit. On the first night of Sukkot, one should recite Kiddush while standing. One first recites a Gefen, then the bracha of Kiddush, then L'Sheb B'Sukkah. At that point, you should sit down and recite the bracha of Shechianu. Very important over there. The source for that is the Shulchan Aruch 643, number 1. Over there. Okay. Now, a boy who turns 13 after the first day of Sukkot does not recite a Shechianu when sitting in Sukkah that year. Okay, that's interesting. Number 12. During the daytime Kiddush on Shabbat or Yom Tov, one should recite El Sheb Sukkah before drinking from the Kiddush wine. That over there, the source for that is Shulchan Aruch 289, number 1. Now, we're going to try and cover this last, but we haven't got much time. Shacharit and Hallel over here. After Shacharit, one takes a lulav and recites a bracha of Al Netilat Lulav and Shechianu. Afterwards, Hallel is recited with a bracha of Ligmor Hallel. A complete Hallel with a bracha is recited throughout Sukkot. One may even recite the bracha on Hallel when praying without a minyan. Okay, everyone should recite his own bracha of Hallel. That's that. One may not make any interruptions during Hallel unless he hears a bracha, Kaddish, Kedusha, or Baruch Hu. At which point, one must interrupt his Hallel, even if he's in the middle of a paragraph. However, he should not answer Amen to the end of Kaddish. Over here. Number 16, if one hears another person recite a blessing immediately after reciting the bracha on Hallel, he should not answer Amen, since one may not make an interruption between the bracha and the recitation of Hallel. If one forgot to recite the bracha on Hallel, he may recite it when he remembers, as long as he's still reciting Hallel. Next one. One who recited half Hallel instead of full Hallel should recite Hallel again without a bracha. Now, next tidbit. If one did not have a lulav before starting to recite Hallel and then managed to attain one in the middle, he may recite the bracha on the lulav between the paragraphs. Number 20. Kaddish is recited after the kafot of the Ashonot and not after Hallel. Now, Kriyat Torah on Sukkot itself, we're going to finish it here because it's a short session. 2 Sifrei Torah are taken out on Yom Tov. The parasha of Shorot Cheshev, which is from Vayikra, naturally, chapters 22 to 23, verse 44, is read from the first Sefer Torah and the Parsha of Chamisha Asa Yom in Bamidbar, and actually I think that's in Parsha Pinchas, if I'm not mistaken, is read from the second. When Yom Tov is during the week, 5 aliyot are given, and when it is on Shabbat, 7 aliyot, not including Maftir, are given. The Haftarah on the first day of Sukkot is read from Zechariah, chapter number 14. Now, Kaddish is recited after reading from the first Sefer Torah, and again after reading the second Sefer Torah in of itself. Now, this actual article I'm reading from is talking about also 2 days of Sukkot, because people live in the diaspora, not just in Israel. So we're not going to talk about that so much. Now, the Hakafot throughout Sukkot. After Hallel, the Sefer Torah is taken out and placed on the bima. Afterwards, congregation circles the bima, while holding the Arbat Aminim and recites Hoshanot. The bima is circled once each day of Sukkot in a counterclockwise direction, and on the 7th day of Sukkot, Hoshana Rabbah, the bima is circled 7 times, as we know. Even if there's no Sefer Torah present, one should circle the bima. If one is unable to go to synagogue on Sukkot, he should place a Tanakh on a chair, Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim book, or a table, and circle around it once. Even a left-handed person should circle the bima in a counterclockwise direction along with the rest of the congregation. Now, one should hold the lulav in his right hand and the etrog in his left hand over here when circling the bima. If one finds this difficult, because also one needs to hold his siddur during that kafa, he should hold the lulav and etrog in his right hand and the siddur in the left. One who does not have a lulav in his hand should not circle the bima with the rest of the congregation. And Abel may circle the bima with the rest of the congregation. That is going to be allowed. Most Sephardic congregations do not circle the bima on Shabbat and do not recite Hoshanot that specific day, respectively. Friends, this is taken from the OU website over here from Rabbi Yonatan Nakson. We've been using his notes for Yom Kippur, for Tisha B'Av, for Hoshana, respectively. And friends, we're going to continue this specific article in the next video, hopefully after the first day of Sukkot. Many of you are keeping 2 days. I understand that. So wishing you all a Chag Sameach, and blessings the first part in this thing. It's not all the laws with regards to Sukkot. So wishing you well and take care.